Is that good? You see your biceps okay?
No, I prefer the left one. Should I just sit like this?
Like that way? Okay. No, hold
Where's
on.
my microphone?
I have it.
Oh.
You have to share with me again.
Do you like the beach?
I love the beach. I don't get to go there ever.
There's no one on my side.
I mean, I used to only think that I could go to the beach and that was my preferred body of water. But a few summers ago, we went upstate Pennsylvania with the Smigos to a place called Cedar Run. And it literally is like in the middle of nowhere.
I love that.
And we were on a creek for 5 days. There was like a zero internet connection.
See,
and
that's more my
Jackie and I were floating down the creek in, I don't know, rafts, whatever, tubes.
I like that. See, I would do that over the beach. I would stay with you on that fucking river for days.
We can go on a river if you want to go on a river.
I just like the mountains.
All right. All right, ready?
It's not like an interview.
Well, I got it. This is the point when we would talk to Tori. I told you had to get closer, and then I had to keep.
Oh, yeah, you had to give me the
So you
fucking
had to,
microphone.
Like, get over here. Yeah.
That way.
All right. So, ready?
What's the topic?
Rachel.
Yeah, I'm aware, but what are we gonna like ask her? Like, what are we talking about?
Well, I want to know like what she thinks about nutrition for older adults because
As we
she's
get
a
older. Okay.
senior living
Got it.
specialist.
So I
and
needed to know.
Okay.
Calm down.
So why don't we just
Yeah, go
introduce
ahead.
yourself and hold the mic closer so I know. Is it on?
Yeah, I get yelled at all the time because the mic's not close enough. I get yelled at.
Okay.
Are you
All right.
recording?
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
recording.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I have a really exciting job for people listening to this. So I help people create a plan for if and when their loved ones need to transition into independent, assisted, or memory care. So my title, I guess would be called a senior living specialist, senior living advocate, and my company is Senior Living Specialist Philly, which is a 5-woman ran company local to the 5 counties in Philadelphia.
Very cool.
Great. Do you want to say your first and last name or just your first name?
Oh, Rachael Packer.
Okay.
Is it your own company?
No, it's not my own company, but the owner of my company, I've known her for 28 years. I used to be her nanny.
Okay, very
She's
cool.
my second mom. So she told me a few years ago that I needed to put my degree into purpose and go come work for her.
Yeah.
So
And how long have you been working there?
this September will be 2 years.
Oh, wow.
I know.
Do you like it?
I do. I love it. I do. I'm learning a ton. It's a needed resource for a lot of people because there's a lot of emotion, not only physical and mental emotion, but financial emotion that goes into it. And not all communities can fit the needs for the right individuals. So like, Aunt Sally and Aunt Joan are gonna have different needs. So they might have to have different communities, right? So a lot of people go into this thinking, well, I can go to community A will fit everything. So no.
But it's not like that.
Yeah.
Got it.
So
Do you deal with certain older men and women that are far beyond that they absolutely need help, or is it like I'm 70 and I'm ready to just get into a home but I'm still very healthy and I still really do all the right things?
So I think there's a total philosophy and mentality between how I would split this. So there's the independent side of it, right? And then there's the assisted and memory care. I would love the 70-year-olds that just want to go into like a Shannondale or a Meadowwood, and that's called like a CCRC, where you go there and you're like, I'm going to live there for the rest of my life. You can get all the services you want because you don't want to deal with the yard and the house and stuff like that. And you're going into a community and you are connecting with other people and you are going to activities and you don't have to worry about the food, right? Because the food can be right there for you. So there is a beauty to that, right? There is a beauty if you go in younger, and it's a mentality, right? You're going in and they're still doing like college courses and they're still learning languages and they're doing art classes and they're taking trips and right, like instead of like living alone, you're really in a community surrounded by people, and you're getting to continue to grow yourself and your mind, no matter if you're 70 or 80, right?
Right.
So that's a great ideal way for someone to move into.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it.
I know. I know. I literally walked through some of these places one day. I'm like, I'll take that. Yeah. Every place has
they
a
all
gym.
have a gym.
Every place has a
No,
gym.
personal train all of them.
Yes.
Every
You
place
could.
has the gym, and every place has typically in-house physical therapy and occupational therapy.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah. So, but those aren't the typical clients I work with.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The typical clients I work with, unfortunately, are assisted in memory care.
Okay.
So most people, and we support that, are living at home until the end of their until they can possibly live at home, right?
Yeah.
And we totally support that because people want to be at home.
We
Right.
want to
So
be at home.
Right.
Yeah.
Feel
I would
comfortable.
tell you that my average client is 85 to 100.
That's cool.
Wow.
People are living long.
Yeah.
Are they always living long and healthy?
Well, that was gonna be my question.
Yeah. Like how? I know that.
And why do you think? Hold on. Why
Go
do
ahead.
we think we're living that long? What's
Because modern medicine keeps us alive.
okay? To make more money.
You know, I mean, I mean, there's a pill for everything.
Right.
Yeah, there is, for sure. When you said that you were thinking about talking about brain health, how do you feel that nutrition would help with that?
Well, you know, I'm not an expert in any of it, but you know, when I look at older people and I start to talk to people, or whenever I look at my in-laws, like, you know, a body emotion, a mind emotion is super important, right? So, I think that you're seeing people work longer, one, because they have to, I think, right? Because we're living longer, right? So, like, I think there was like statistics, like on average, you need to almost have like $1.4 million saved in the bank to like retire, right?
To retire.
But here's the deal. That's great if you're healthy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Otherwise, what's
Right.
$1.4 million
But if,
gonna
right,
do for you?
if you
Right.
need to go into an assisted living because of a sickness or an ailment, or because it's no longer safe to be home, that 1.4 is
It's not going to last that long. Right.
so. You know, when it comes to aging, you know, I think people sometimes get a little stagnant in their body, right? And I would say that, you don't need to go do a bench press at 250 pounds,
Right.
right? But you do need to walk and move and stretch
Yeah.
and just do something daily
Yeah.
to keep your heart moving, right?
Right.
And yeah, you need to watch what you eat
Yeah.
as you age, right? I'm not saying don't eat the cake, because
No, you should eat cake.
you're 90
Yeah.
years old, you're
Right.
85.
No, but you should eat cake
Yeah,
regardless,
yeah.
right? We
Right,
can all
yeah,
eat cake,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
But,
Yeah.
but for the most part, you want to eat correctly. You want to stay healthy because that longevity, that $1.4 million is going to be for you and not for the assisted living
Right.
place, right? It's
Right,
just
right,
something
right.
that you can spend on your own,
Yeah,
right? And live comfortably and
yeah.
at
Yeah.
home.
I know.
I think I might have talked to you about this documentary, and okay, maybe you've seen it, but there was a guy, I think, a National Geographic researcher. It's called The Cow to Live to 100.
Yeah.
And he went and researched the 5 blue zones in the world, right? One is in California, the other one's in Japan, Greece, Italy. I'm missing one. Anyways, so there's 5 of them, right? So it was where the most centennials were living, so people over 100.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
The
In
longevity
California?
is longer there.
Yeah,
We're
California's like
moving.
Lima, California, or something like that.
We're
Oh,
moving
okay.
to Lima, California.
Okay.
So anyway, so you know, and there was like
Look
4
like this to
common
like
there was
105.
4 common themes about how these people were living to 100, and the first one was connection, the second one was outlook, the third one was movement, and the fourth one was healthy eating.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? But in Japan, they don't have a ton of furniture in their houses, right?
They don't. That's
They don't.
true.
So you know what these older people are doing every day? They're squatting over 30 times a day.
Well, you gotta sit, you gotta stand up. You gotta sit, you gotta stand up.
Oh my
right?
God. I never even really thought of it
Yeah.
that way.
And then the place in,
Oh my God.
yeah, seriously, they're squatting over like
Yeah,
30
but
times.
see, it's smart. I mean, think about it. What we do all day. What are we doing right now? Why can't we stand and do this?
Yeah, I guess we could stand
Right?
and do it. Right.
But like,
yeah.
think about it. Our whole day consists of sitting in front of a computer, on the couch doing a podcast, right? Like, unless
Yeah.
you have a physically active job,
Yeah.
right? So if you're not moving at work, when are you moving?
Right.
Right? And we don't have time, so we're not gonna do it at home because we get home too late. Now we have to cook dinner. We gotta go take the kids to practice. We gotta pick them up from practice, right? So, movement. If you don't use it, you lose it.
The Italy one, which was interesting, what was keeping them so active? You know what they were doing? Shopping all day long. Just
But
like
it's moving,
Like
though.
seriously, right?
Right.
It's movement.
Right.
But like there was, and they also lived in a town where there was tons of hills, so they walked.
Yeah.
To walk. Right?
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna say wine for a second.
No, they did. And in Greece, and don't give me the towns. I'm gonna get them wrong, and someone's gonna be like, she doesn't know what she's talking about. I'm just gonna say the countries.
Right.
In Greece, the type of wine they were making, is a really clean wine, and they were having only a glass versus a bottle.
But it's so
Right,
true
like-
though, right?
Right, and it's like cleaner wine, whatever the one. But it was really interesting,
That is
especially in my
interesting.
world, like how, just because age is it's just a number, and just because you're older doesn't mean you still can't.
No, you can do things the right way at any time, right? No matter how long it's been since you've done the right things, or at least took that step to be healthier and moving more and whatever. It's never too late to start. Just fucking start.
Right.
You
Right.
gotta start somewhere. And if you don't start with the social or connections, and you certainly can eat the right stuff. You can certainly go for a walk. No one's asking you to do high intensity interval training or bench
Yeah.
press 250
Right.
pounds. None of that nonsense. I can't bench 250 pounds. I wouldn't want to. Right? That does nothing for me.
Right.
Right? But you lift, you do cardio, you eat correctly, right? And then you can have cake, you can have wine, but one glass, not the bottle, right? But again, they didn't take it away.
No,
They're just doing it
no.
correctly, right? They're
Right.
moving, like go to Japan, right? Now you're sitting, you're standing, so you're burning more calories. You can sustain more stuff. So if you do want to drink, you can drink. If you want to eat more, you can eat more. But if you're just constantly restricted because you're not doing anything, you're gonna be far worse when you get older.
And I think the other bigger the thing
I wish
is,
I had
when
one.
I talk to a lot of people, and a lot of the audience that I'm talking to, believe it or not, is more like the sandwich generation. So it's like the three of us sitting
Right.
here, right? So we have like younger kids, and then we have older parents, right, as they're aging. And typically, when I have a client, it's typically the children, or that I'm talking to
Right.
about their parent. And nobody wants to plan for getting older, and nobody wants to plan for their health, right? We want to plan to go to Italy. We want to plan to go
Right,
to the beach,
because it's too
right?
expensive to eat healthy.
Right,
It's-
but not only that, it's like that's like easy, right? But
Mhm.
really, as you age, like planning for your health and planning for how you're going to age are super important, right? And understanding how your loved ones are aging and want to age, and having those crucial conversations with them are so important, because on the flip side, I get the house is on fire, the wheels are falling off the bus, mom fell, broke her hip, she can't go home, and that can happen to anybody, right?
Right.
It really can,
Right.
right? You can be the healthiest of person,
Right, and still get hurt.
fall, break
Sure.
a hip, and it might not be safe to go home for a while, and maybe you need to go into a community for a time being to get stronger, right? And people can get stronger. Just because you go into a community is not like I threw something, grandma in, locked the door, and I'm forgetting about it, right? A community really is about taking somebody into a safe environment. Sorry, I know. Sorry about that. I should put it in my left hand.
Come on, right here. Can we
yeah.
get one side later? Hook up to us.
It's about safety, connection, having eyes on you, right? And not getting weaker, but getting stronger if and when you can. Really, it's not about decrepit people. I went into a place the other day where they were playing Frank Sinatra and drinking wine, and it was happy hour, and I was like, yes, like right?
Yeah. I love that.
But even as we are all sitting here, 40, 50, 60, like you've got to really start to plan about your health journey and your aging journey, because it's gonna happen.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, it's
But think about it. Nobody wants to do it now, right? Because you have everyday things that come into your life. Can I hold it?
Yep.
Right. So like everything's so busy, always on the go, right? I always have something to do, or I don't have time to meal prep. I don't have time to cook. I don't have time to do this. I don't have time to go to the gym. I don't have time. But you do have time. But the priority is not there, because I'm not going to think of the 85-year-old Ovi, right? Because
No, 'cause
I'm
you
good
wanna-
right now,
yeah.
right? So like I'm not going to
You
think
want to go
of
on vacation. That's what I was thinking.
not to the beach though.
Yeah, I
Um,
forgot about the beach.
Just go to the river.
I'm going to go to the river, go to the mountains,
Go-
like
I'll-
secluded.
I'll
I'm
get
going to sit right.
I'll get you the tube.
Perfect.
Yes.
Give me the two.
Yes.
But you do have to think about it, because like old version of Ovi wish that 30 years ago I would have eaten healthier or go to the gym or whatever. In this case, I think about like your financial being, right? When you're getting older, you think of a 401k. Well, that 401k doesn't just happen.
Mm-hmm.
You gradually grow it. Same here. You're not just going to be healthy just because you're eating fish, right? But you got to do it over time. So when you do get to 80, you're going to be healthier version of who you are, right? And even if you do go into a senior living situation, it's fun, right? Now you're there you're having a good time. You are drinking wine. You are having happy hour, versus being stuck in your bed or at home, where you can't do anything.
Yeah.
So it's important to start doing it now. And how many clients do we have that I used to do this for so long, now I can't do it anymore, right?
Right.
Whatever worked didn't work anymore,
Yeah.
right? And why is that? because we haven't really planned for it.
Right.
We
And
don't
body
know what
atrophy.
to-
And body
right.
atrophy.
Yeah.
Right.
Which I think is important,
Mhm.
like when you guys are talking to clients who are even older, like don't let your body atrophy, like atrophy like of your joints in your body.
Mhm.
Because once you get there, like trying to get out of that,
It's much more difficult.
right?
If you
So
just,
if you and so that's why like just I've remind myself sometimes it's okay if all you got in today was a 20-minute walk.
Something.
yeah.
Do
Something.
something.
Like something,
right.
right? Like it's okay. Like it was movement. It was
Yeah. Now, do you
What do-
have a plan for you and JP?
So we went through like a few months ago because I was like, I do this all day long. I
Right.
talk to people. I see what people don't have their documents in order. I'm like, shit.
We need our documents
I'm
in
like,
order.
I go to fly on a plane. Nobody knows. Like I'm talking like who's going if someone that
Right.
need to take my kids, right? So we went through. We met with our financial advisor, right? He's like, so when you guys retire, like, what sounds like a comfortable number to you? And the number he gave me, I was like I like to. I mean, he'll tell you I always spend too much money, but I like to live life, right? And I'm like, so if you want to retire and not, and you still want to like live local life, but like travel and stuff like that, you need money.
Now you need $2.4
But
million.
even right? But even like now though, like I need to plan for my children, right? I need to plan like if something were to happen to me today, like who's going to take them
Right.
physically, who's going to have their financial best interest, right?
Right.
So, but yeah, we have it spelled out. Like if I were to die tomorrow. Like I said, I want to be cremated. I don't want you crying over a picture of me. I want you to have a party, play Don't Stop Believing, and take a shot, right? Like,
Right.
But I have like specific things. Like if this were to happen to me, this is my outcome, right? And like, I had this happen last year with my dad. My dad had to have like major brain surgery, and
Yeah.
I'm his POA, but I didn't really know what that meant.
Yeah.
Right,
And I
like
live
what
in this
you really
world.
had to do, right.
And I was like, Dad, I was like, if you come out as a vegetable, I don't have the funds to take care of you,
Right.
and I don't know how. I mean, he's financially okay, but that money, as it would, he's like, well, I want to be saved at all costs, and I'm like,
Not gonna happen.
so
Sorry, dude.
I mean, but it's like these are the
Right,
crucial
right.
conversations about health and wealth that you need to have with people in your life,
Yeah.
because I always say like, why, like, especially to the older person, I said the best thing that you can give to your children is your wishes.
Right.
So if this happened, this is what I'd like. If this happens, this is what I like. Like, no, nobody wants to, again, sit down and have those conversations. But in the moment, when those people are making those decisions for you, it is emotional and it is stressful. And if you at least have some type of roadmap to follow.
Yeah.
And maybe it'll make you feel better too, right? Like, let's say, God forbid, right, something happened and you had to make a decision whether you save them or not save them.
Yeah.
And in the wishes, it was like, well, you're good. Like, do this, do that. You kind of feel better about it, right? Or at least it'll take that pressure and that edge off.
Yeah, because you already made a decision.
Yeah, we talked about it. So like, not that it's not sad or it's not gonna suck or you're not gonna cry,
Yeah.
but at least you're like, well, I am doing what he wanted.
Yeah.
And he went out the best way.
Yeah.
He left this for us, right?
Yeah.
We did this for him.
Yeah.
We're not breaking any trust, right? And you're doing all the right things versus, well, if you don't save him, now you feel guilty.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you do save him, you still feel guilty? Because what if he didn't want to be saved? Like, what if he didn't want you to burden you with his
Yeah.
health, right? So,
Yeah.
and that goes for everybody.
Yeah.
My grandma's Romanian, right? And she lives with my mom, right? My mom takes care of her, legally blind, right? So, it's your mom, so you don't want to think of it as a burden, but that is, right? And there's no money saved or anything, old school Romanian, right? Like there's no money for her to leave to my mom to help her at this stage, right? So my mom has to do it all, which she does and wants to do it, but if you don't have certain things in place, like how would she know she's doing the right thing for her towards the end, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, very cool.
Yeah, no, and you just have to plan. And I guess it's maybe like public service announcement. This might be a boring conversation to some of the people.
No, I like.
No, I think people are
think
gonna
actually,
resonate
like,
with it and they're
I
gonna
think
sit
it's
there and be
actually
like,
really important. I think, if there was some public service announcements that I had to give, because people are like, when I tell people this, they're like, huh? So Medicare and Medicaid do not cover private assisted living in the state of Pennsylvania.
Okay.
So if you need independent, assisted, or memory care, it's private pay dollars.
so you have to pay out of pocket. Right.
Yeah. So if there are Medicaid communities, but you have to have like next to no money
Right.
To
For
be,
them to be
you have to have a
approved.
health, there has to be a health reason and a financial, to, Medicaid qualify.
Right.
So I think that's, when I talk to people sometimes, they're like, oh, my mom has Medicare. That's great.
For now, but
That-
not for later.
But Medicare will cover your medical,
Yeah.
but it's not gonna cover your shelter in a community or the care that you need in a community.
Okay.
So I think that's a really important thing.
Just in Pennsylvania?
So New Jersey acts a little differently. So New Jersey, Medicaid will eventually kick in. But you have to pay privately for so many years before Medicaid will kick in.
I see.
Every state's different.
Yeah,
Right.
okay.
So, but I don't, it depends. Every state has different guidelines. But most of the time, before Medicaid would even kick in, you need to have, at least probably 1, 2, 3, 4 years of private pay.
That's so funny. Like they want you to go broke before they help you, and then everybody's in a shittier situation. Like you're not helping anybody by doing that.
Yeah, but I think too, I think we all want to always kind of look to somebody else to help us.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I think this is the part that goes to planning, right?
You have to be prepared.
You have to be
You have to be
prepared.
prepared.
Yeah. So I think that is one of the most important things that people are shocked by, right? That
Yeah.
no one's just going to start giving you money for someone to take care of somebody.
Right.
Yeah.
I wish somebody would.
I agree.
Yeah, make things a lot
I really
easier.
wish that these Dunkin' reviews that my daughter does would take off and she'd be making millions, an influence. Hasn't happened. How do you become an
We're
influencer?
waiting for it.
We're waiting for it, right? And I think, and I've said this before with the other things that I've done in my life, your health is your number one investment.
For sure.
If you don't have your health,
Yeah.
But people don't look at it that way.
Right.
Like
No.
how many times have we gone on the phone with a client or potential client?
Here.
It's expensive,
It is expensive.
right? It's
Yeah.
expensive. But what's expensive? Because when you break it down per week, you spend more money by going one time on a Saturday night, going out on a Saturday night. Let's say $1,000, right? I
Yeah.
have to give you $1,000 to personal training for 12 weeks. Well, that's really nothing.
Yeah.
Right? It's really not a lot of money versus in the long run if I don't do it, but it's an expense, right? I don't have money. But if I ask you to go for a couple of drinks, we all have money, right? We all have money now. We're all gonna go out, right? Or if we're gonna go out to dinner, we all have money because we're gonna split the dinner. Like, what are you spending $150 on if not on your health? Like, that's not an expense, it's an investment, right? So
That you can move later.
yeah.
that's what I'm saying, and you make
Yeah.
more money because you have
Yeah.
more energy, you're more active, you feel better, you're doing more things when you are healthier.
Yes.
So it's an investment. Everybody looks at gyms or let's say coaches of any kind, health coaches, life coaches, any type of coach, right? It's an expense.
And I think that people feel guilty spending money on their selves in that way. And again, it's we have a hard time looking at the total picture of our life. I'm guilty.
Yeah, everyone is.
I'm not sitting here perfect. Like I can go to
Right.
Target and spend $250 real easily.
Right.
I'm not right.
Really easy.
Right, and when it comes to I had something yesterday. I am involved in something where I have a 12-week. My back is so messed up, and I finally have to invest in myself. And I saw what it's gonna cost, and I was like, I gotta get back. I gotta get healthy again. I said, listen, I'm gonna do this, but can we break this up maybe into payment
Yeah.
plans, right?
Right, and that's fine, you break it up.
So people need to be creative. I think you need to invest in your health, and if sometimes that initial number can scare you, figure out work with work a little bit. How can you
Yeah.
make it work? But if I want to get back to running again, if I want to get back to not feeling what I have to do, I have to do this.
Because think about it. Let's say the price was $2,000. I don't know. Let's say for the sake of it. Let's say it was $5,000. That's fuck it. It's a lot of money. $5,000 is a lot of money. In the grand scheme of things, your children are not gonna have to pay $100,000 to take care of you.
Yeah.
Right.
You spent $5,000 to be a healthier version. You took the burden off your kids or your family or whoever, right? But it was only $5,000. In the grand scheme of things, that's a lot of money. $5,000, a lot cheaper than $100,000,
Yeah.
right? To pay for assisted
Yeah,
living,
yeah.
for someone to take care of you or whatever. But we don't look at it that way. It's $5,000. That's a lot. It's a matter of whether you want to do it or not.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly.
Like that's it's not the money, it's the commitment or the mindset that I'm gonna do it. And if you want to do it, you're gonna find a way to fucking do it. It's just
Right.
that simple.
Right. What do you do for your own personal nutrition? And then we'll wrap
Yeah,
up.
let's put her on the spot. And be honest, because
Yeah,
right.
no, I mean, listen, Kelly knows where I am. I feel like I had, for 3-4 years, I had a very strict,
Yeah.
because
Rachel was a big runner too.
I was a big runner,
Okay.
which is why I'm in the back issues that I'm probably in a little bit.
Yeah.
But they're telling me I can get back to it, so I'm gonna trust
Sure.
the process,
Yeah.
right? So, I do my best.
Yeah.
I really do. Like I had to teach myself not to eat a ton of sweets anymore, and so I don't even like crave those as much.
You're not going to overtime.
Yeah. So I probably work out 3-4 days a week, 5 days a week. I've had to change my relationship with working out just because of
Your injury.
when I was running, and I knew what to do every day, right? I knew I had to go run 3 miles today. That was easy to me. 3 miles today, 5 miles tomorrow, 16 miles
On Saturday.
on Saturday. Right?
Yeah.
That's like I knew, and then strength train in between, because
Right.
if you're a runner, you're not in strength training enough, and your running's getting blunt, right? So
Yeah.
that was right. That was no. Well, I had a very good person in my life.
Yep.
Who is amazing and taught me a lot. And by the third marathon I did, I got stronger because I focused more on strength training.
Yes.
Um,
James' hand, please.
Yes. Yeah.
Listen to that.
But I do
James, help?
think
James?
No,
Oh.
James is starting running his first marathon, and all he does is go outside and
no.
run.
I think strength training made my running stronger. I mean,
Of course, it's going, especially as we get older.
my
Yeah.
third marathon, I scrapped off 20 minutes from my first.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
fantastic.
And I was, I don't know, 38 when I ran my last one.
That's a big
So
fucking
it
deal.
wasn't like I was 25.
Right,
you know
right,
what I
right,
mean? Like
right.
I didn't get into marathon running until I was 36.
Mhm.
34, I don't remember
Yeah.
what age. I don't know. So, so now I do really try to do strength training. We have a lot at home. We've created ourselves like a little gym. I have my Peloton. I have my weights. I have a 13-year-old, so he's a meathead. He thinks he's like strong and wants to like lift. So we've done a lot there. I'll float in and out of gym classes, but
Yeah.
I do a lot at home
Mhm.
because it's just easier for me where I am in my life.
Yeah.
My new fun thing, and then I know we have to wrap this up, is I have a weighted vest.
Oh yeah.
It's a 12-pound weighted vest. It's not that heavy. Depending on where people's strength are, you can get 5, 8, 12,
Right.
So
Yeah.
don't- And I have a dog that I never wanted, but wants me. And I've been walking with this weighted vest,
Good.
I don't know, 4 times a week.
That's
That's really all you need to do.
Yeah.
Right.
So I have a 12-pound weighted vest, and I have this hill. So you go down my driveway, and I have this hill. It's like this, and I walk back, walk up a hill. It's like a 37-minute walk with the dog, and like I feel like even within my core strength.
Mhm.
So if you're a walker, I feel like walking's great. Don't get me wrong, but like if you put something on you to like resistance against
Right,
that, I'm
right.
not. You're the expert on that. I'm just knowing what I do. You're gonna gain a lot more, and I've seen like a difference in my core.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not an expert, but I've seen physically a difference in my
Where are
core.
you going to? Because you got to stabilize the vest a little bit, right? Because it's
Yeah.
on your back, right?
Yeah.
So just
Yeah.
like a
So-
backpack if you're hunching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the vest is like my posture's bad here. I noticed, but like the vest, I've noticed has kept me like
Let's go into.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So I really think that like if you're a walker and like sometimes people are like, oh, I walk every day.
Good.
Awesome.
Add a
Keep
little
walking.
to it, right?
But
Yeah.
you maybe like I need to see more results. Get a
Right.
5-pound weighted
And
vest.
then you
Yeah.
don't have to run, right? Most people don't like to run. I can't run outside. I just can't.
Yeah.
Right? Lower back spasms. I can't run
Yeah.
outside. So I'll do the stepper. Yesterday I went to run outside.
Yeah.
And I ran, but like very
On
slowly.
the hottest day.
Yeah.
So that makes.
No. Well, I just didn't feel like doing
I
anything.
understand.
So I was
I
like,
get-
I want to change the scenery just so I
Yeah,
can
I
do
get
something.
it. Mhm.
So I went outside, but if I run, it's very slow.
Mhm.
Okay, so I do intervals, right, and I added push-ups to the walk and all that stuff. But there's nothing wrong with a weighted vest. Walking will help you burn more fat. The weighted vest will add a little bit of strength resistance to it,
Yeah.
right? And you're still getting the benefits. But I agree with the posture because if you hunch, your lower back is going to go up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes I wear the weighted vest around the house.
But why not?
Hold on. So if you gave it to my house, my one girlfriend to do one day, she goes, "Are you packing heat?" I'm like, "No, it's my weighted vest." But I'm like, but I was like listening to some things. I was like, if you just wear it around the house, doing
Yeah.
so,
Yeah.
like whatever,
Yep.
like,
Going up and down the steps
But who
or
thinks
whatever.
of that? No one thinks about
or
it,
like
right?
sitting at my desk, like
Right.
again, it's keeping me because I do sit more than I like to these days. I was home for 8 years, so I'm a busybody, so I didn't sit a lot. Like I was,
Yeah.
I just
Right.
Kelly, I fled,
Yeah.
I fled. But now I'm a little bit more stagnant, so I have to be real mindful about getting up, moving
Yeah.
around,
Right.
standing,
Yeah.
I think that's
Yeah.
fantastic because
Rachel's a really fast walker too. I've
That's
walked
great.
with Rachel before, and it is.
I think
So
they,
I wouldn't be able to
they-
walk with her.
No.
I'd be like back
I
there.
think they actually don't even ask me to walk with them anymore
I-
because of it, which makes me mad. I had to force them to invite me to a concert, for love of God. So now,
No, you were
so
invited.
So I think they walk because they're like, we don't want to walk with her. My mom makes, when I see my mom, she goes, will you walk with me? Because I make her walk. I do probably walk faster than I.
But that's
It's
good
like
though.
a
I mean,
gazelle.
yeah.
It's without that one day that we walked Huebner Park, I was like, my legs are not long enough for this nonsense. I'm just chugging trying to keep up with her.
Yeah.
Yeah, fast walker. And that was before the weighted vest.
Yes.
You should get, if you got maybe a 25-pound weighted vest, I'd be able to
Maybe,
keep up with you.
Yeah.
Or maybe maybe like 100 pounds will slow you down.
Yeah. So.
And you're gonna run. She'll walk with a 100-pound vest, and you
I
run
was
to keep
gonna have
up
to
with her
run,
walk.
Yeah. And then lastly, I know we talked about like food lately. My new favorite recipe, I made it last night. It was like legit. I want to try this guy I watch on like, I don't know, Facebook Reels, whatever, you get sucked into him talking about. And I was like, let's see how many of these recipes really work. The cottage cheese wrap works.
Yeah,
I love it. I mean, even Brooklyn likes it. She's like, Mommy, will you make it for me? Like, she likes it. Last night I tried, you get ground chicken. You can do canned chicken. I don't like canned chicken. I don't like it.
Right, me either. I agree with that.
Ground chicken. It was like a cup of grated Parmesan cheese and 1 egg. And you like mix it together with your hands. And then you flatten it out like it's a pizza.
Okay.
Bake it at 450 for 100 degree. No, 450 for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's like you have a chicken-based pizza crust.
Oh, I've seen that.
Right? And then
I should try that. I'll make a reel of that.
This guy put like romaine lettuce and a little bit of Caesar dressing on it, whatever, and it was legit. So it's like if people are trying to look for ways to like increase protein, maybe decrease processed carbs, like whatever it may be, this like is a pretty.
Send that to me and
I will.
I'll make it.
I'm telling you, 3 ingredients. It's that easy.
Yeah.
I
like all of the very easy ones.
And I don't know
if
if you don't want to put if you don't want to put the lettuce on top of it, you can maybe even make it into like a little pizza. Like go ahead, you know.
Yeah.
It's good.
I'm gonna try it. Send it to me.
No, I just told you the 3 ingredients.
I know, but I don't. I have
She's
to
like,
know.
oh,
I
yeah,
need
she
to
said
step.
fucking-
I don't know. I just watched the reel.
She said
All right,
ground
I'll-
fucking chicken, 1 cup of cheese.
No, she didn't say cheese.
She did say shredded cheese.
Shredded, no Parmesan.
Parmesan, sorry. But it was cheese.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll do it.
And I forgot the third
1
ingredient.
egg. Yeah, see?
Eggs.
Yeah.
That's
But
it.
yeah, I actually
And then you flatten it out and baked it for
Just
10
like
minutes.
you did with the cottage cheese thing.
I
Yeah.
know this and like it was really good.
I had a couple people actually come up to me and say, I made that cottage
See,
cheese.
yeah.
I'm like, I just
People
watched it.
overcomplicate it though. It's really not complicated.
No.
Like hit your protein, fiber, calories, you're good.
Yeah.
But nobody wants to eat a lot of food. Nobody wants to eat more to lose weight.
Well, women don't eat. Like, I was not eating enough protein.
But you have to.
I was a vegetarian for about 15 years. And my husband's like, oh my God, you eat more meat now than I've ever seen you eat meat. Like, I didn't eat meat. There's a reason I didn't eat meat. It wasn't really like, it wasn't like, you know, animal rights activist or anything. I got sick off of it one night.
Right,
Yeah,
right. And then you're like, fuck
Reasons.
it.
Anyways, but I do now, so I really try to really focus on my protein.
That's good.
So you hit on a couple of things I'd like to just kind of like summarize before we end this.
All right. How long are you going to summarize for?
Like 30 seconds
Okay, go
if
ahead.
you don't interrupt. No, so you hit on the running is fine, cardio is fine, as long as you strength train enough, right? So you need the strength training to build the muscle to be stronger as we get older.
Yes.
Right? Hitting your protein goal,
Yep.
just like we always say, right? But this is not coming from us. It's coming from somebody that doesn't do this with us,
Right.
right? But you understand how this works, right? So I think it's important for people to understand, 1, strength train along with the cardio that you do. No one's telling you can't do your cardio.
Yeah.
2, cover your protein because that's what's really, really important. And 3, do it now because if you're not gonna do it now, somebody's gonna have to do it for you.
Yeah. Later.
Right, later. Whether it's your kids, your sister, your mother, your father, whatever, whoever, right? If you're not gonna do it for yourself, you're gonna burden someone else to do it for you.
That was a good little summary, Obi.
Thanks, sometimes I'm good.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming
Thanks
on,
for having
Rach.
me, guys.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, this is great.
All right.
Great.
Shut
Love
it
it.
down.